Well, Saturday's Express now, and further proof that we are living in a bizarre world. Putin is using JK Rowling as a shield for his atrocities, Andrew.
I know, you wouldn't have thought that crossover was coming. No. But, you know, and now, of course, we have JK Rowling back on the front cover, as she often is at the moment, but largely down to her views over transgender issues and women's rights. But this is because Putin is, of course, saying that the West is trying to cancel Russia in the way that we've cancelled JK Rowling. Of course, JK Rowling hasn't been cancelled. That's the whole point. She can't be cancelled because she's far too powerful. But that she's certainly been maligned and misrepresented and mischaracterised and all these terrible things simply for stating biological truths. But this is an interesting story because, you know, this happens again and again. I even heard Chinese officials talking about, you know, you can't talk to us about freedom of speech when you in the West are always censoring people and your cancel culture. The thing about this woke stuff is that it makes us look ridiculous. It's not comparable, right? So obviously the war in Ukraine is absolutely not comparable to the attacks on JK Rowling, how horrific as they are. But it gives people like Putin an opportunity to draw these tenuous comparisons because we look idiotic.
Well, it's infantile, isn't it? But then it's not the same as literally imprisoning a journalist and torturing them to death or invading a country and killing lots of people. So it's not...
Do you know whether Leo Tolstoy has got himself in hot water over his views on gender at all? Has Dostoevsky been cancelled yet?
Well, you say that, but at the University of Milan, they did...
I don't want to hear it.
They removed him from a course. They did backtrack on that.
Yeah.
But similarly, we had the Russian state opera in this country cancel their productions. And again, it's not that's just branding, right? That's a British company.
Yeah.
Similarly, you had restaurants in America pouring Smirnoff vodka down the drains, even though Smirnoff is a British company. So again and again, this sort of stuff has been happening. EA Games, didn't they remove all the Russian teams from their video game? So there has been a kind of cultural boycott of various Russian... So Putin isn't wrong.
And what does that serve exactly? That, again, to me, is completely irrational.
It is totally irrational. That's my point, is that that's been going on, and therefore he's...
Like, well, 2 weeks ago, it was hate anti-vaxxers, and now it's Russians!
Well, yeah, but this is actually extended to banning things and stopping performances, and you know, it's just... It is.
That's because we are collectively led by the whim of emotion. There's no reasoned debate. No wonder Zelensky and Putin can't sit down and have a conversation.
Well, isn't that bad though? When the discourse of Twitter ends up seeping into international politics.
Correct.
I mean, that's a really bad
imperils our position in the West. I mean, that's the concerning thing. And you mentioned about, you know, cancelling Russians. It's gesture politics, isn't it?
Of course, it's nonsense.
It's all emotional gesture.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not on it.
Yeah, I must tweet about that later.
Miriam's not on Twitter.
Angry emojis. I might block a few people. It makes me feel better. Forgive me, I had a rich curry before we started.